Hi, it's Ed Butowski. So today's message is going to be a little different. I'm kind of starting to get uncomfortable with how comfortable everybody is becoming in the stock market. Now, I'm not wishing negative things. My clients' portfolios were solid, okay? We've got a growth bias towards them, but we're also protected on the downside. What's getting to me is how complacent everybody is being about risk. So a lot of you don't know this, but I'm in the process of completing a book called The CHIP Score. Now, I could change it to, does your current financial advisor have any idea what they're doing? And that's really what it should be called, because most of you out there are blindly accepting what your financial advisor is giving you in this collection of investments that you're getting from that person. And this is exactly the time that you need to really be taking a hard look, because you haven't had the risk, all right? You haven't had, quite frankly, the real fear that is going to come at some point in the marketplace. And when that happens, you're going to wish you had made some adjustments. Now, first and foremost, I have up here on the screen, how do you objectively evaluate your portfolio? And look, there's many ways to do it, but the best statistic is variance drag phantom tax. If you don't know what your variance drag phantom tax is, and if it is not about 0.8 or 0.9 lower, you've got a potential huge problem in your portfolio. It's that simple. Now, I'm going to show you the CHIP score. I'm going to explain it to you here. But what I'm doing is encouraging you to do an evaluation and find out just how much risk you're taking. Don't be blind. Blindness is going to cause you a lot of problems sometime very soon down the road. So let me pause right now and help you understand this. Now, when I say don't be blind, let me point this out to you. The CHIP score stands for Chapwood Investment Portfolio Score. And I'm looking forward to this being completed, because this is a great time for me to come out with this. You want to have, and somehow we need to figure out a score for a portfolio. So I've been working on this for many, many years. And I finally have my ghostwriter, and we're almost done with the book. In fact, I really would love for you to allow me to do some analysis for you if you're not already a client of mine. It would kind of help me a little bit in terms of finishing up the book. But here's an example of, let's just take, hypothetically, you have $1 million, your management fee and your investment fee, your income tax bracket, and what is your annual cost of living increase. And if you know me by now, you know that I really harp on how much your cost of living increases, and it is not what the CPI says. So if you come down through here, this is a typical retail portfolio. It's that simple. This is typically what retail portfolios look like. You have 15% in corporate bonds, 20% in large cap growth, 10% in emerging markets, 20% in large cap value, some money in the S&P 500, some money possibly in utilities. And this is typically what a retail portfolio looks like. You'll notice that there's other great investments that most people aren't looking at and never see from their current financial advisor. All right, it all adds up to 100%. So let me pause right now and I'll show you the results of it. So here is the analysis of what I just showed you. And I'm going through this quickly, but I really want you to let me do an analysis on your portfolio. Historically, that collection of investments has returned 8.2%. But given what your cost of living increase is and your tax bracket, you actually have a real rate of return of minus 0.41. Now, your standard deviation is 13.6, which means, I'll make it real simple, your variance drag phantom tax in this particular typical retail portfolio is more than double what it should be. That's a disaster when the market turns. It's a disaster no matter what, but when the market turns, it's a disaster. And you have about a 30% chance of a loss in the next 12 months, but most importantly, you have a CHIP score of minus 13. Wouldn't it be neat to be able to say, hey, what's your CHIP score? Well, that's what I'm working towards. And that's why I'm doing this, because I want to leave a mark in this world and in this industry. And I want the CHIP score to be a big part of that. You want your CHIP score obviously to be above 0. You want it to be closer to 10 to 20. A minus 13 is not good, and I'll guarantee you that your portfolio is not above 0. I'll do the analysis with you, and if it's above 0, I'll make a contribution to some charity you ask me. Won't be a big contribution. But I really encourage you to take a look at what you currently have, and then we can actually show you how to enhance it if you want to make it more efficient. But don't be blind during a time where you don't think there's any risk. The economy is doing fine, but it's not doing anywhere close to where it needs to be to support the lofty levels of where stock prices are. So please share this with everybody and anybody, and I encourage you to get a hold of me at 972-865-2223. Again, this is Ed Butowski.